My name is Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for legendary singer-songwriter Leonard Cohen. If you look to the eastern horizon when he was born using Vedic sidereal zodiac, not Western tropical zodiac, you would see the constellation of Virgo rising at 5 degrees. First, we're going to look at and see how the planets are operating in his chart, supporting his success and challenges. And then we'll see how the timing of events, how the planets were operating for those timing of events in his life, and then what could we do to strengthen the chart. So first, we want to see the challenging planets, and for a Virgo, you have multiconal signs in the 6th, 8th, and the 12th house, and the ruler of those signs will become functional malefic. So for 6th house, you have the 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn. For the 8th house, you have the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, and for the 12th house, you have the 5th sign of Leo, ruled by Sun. So Sun, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu can be challenging in this chart from time to time, either by aspect or conjunction in the birth or transit chart. So first we'll look at Sun. Sun is a functional malefic and it's less than 5 degrees. So it's said to be an infant state, and infants can't support or promote their own significations. So it gives 12th house spiritual growth through spending time at a Zen monastery, good some support from father, the weak placement of the moon. So the moon is ruling the house of income, the 11th house, and it is placed in the 6th house. So there can be some challenges and setbacks to income. But it does give income through 6th house and moon itself. So healing emotions for himself and others. Moon refers to others. Inner conflict, and there can be some autoimmune issues since moon is weak. Then we have functional debilitated weak Mars conjunct K2, and Mars is ruling the house of challenges, vulnerabilities, and so it's sitting in the income house. So it connects income through expressing vulnerability and depression. And he did feel quite separate, had narcissistic feelings, and some accidents. So 8th house and Mars are connected to accidents. Mercury is at 24 degrees. It's ruling the chart, and it's in its own house. So it gives life purpose through expressing, again, his vulnerabilities. And then it is the indicator for, prime indicator for health, and he did have leukemia. Then we have weak infant state Jupiter at 2 degrees, and that's again less than 5, so somewhat weak. It is ruling the house of happiness and home life, and it is placed in the house of wealth and fame and the continuation of the marital bond. So there was some issues in relationships and home life, and it does connect happiness through second house of speech and singing. Then we have Venus, which is poorly placed in the 12th house, connects, which has to do with separations and depressions and addictions, and it's ruling the 2nd house. So again, we see that wealth can come through emotional healing of 12th house issues. And then we have weak old age Saturn. Any planet more than 25 degrees is said to be in old age, and again cannot protect or promote its own significations. So there is healing through creative expression, and this also is connected to leukemia. Mostly leukemia it's a blood issue, and so we have that weak, debilitated Mars. Then we have functional Rahu and Ketu. They are always balancing something. Rahu's giving desire for creativity and entertainment. Ketu having to do with insights into fulfilling his desires. And they do afflict Mars again, so this is again Mars connected to blood and leukemia. Let's look at the timing of events. So in '66, he wrote one of his most famous songs, Suzanne, and that's during a Mercury period. Mercury again, that expressing his inner feelings. '84, he wrote Hallelujah, which had a cult following, is also featured in the movie Shrek, during a Mercury K2 period, again expressing inner feelings. '93, joined a Zen monastery and did some service work during a Mercury Rahu period that would remedy malefic Rahu. '95, he had an album and he returned to music. And 2001, during a K2 period, he got defrauded by his manager who spent all his money. There was a lawsuit in '05 during a Saturn period. Saturn is ruling the sixth house of legal issues and lawsuits. He went back on tour in 2012 at a fairly old age and did really well, was very well received. And then he died in 2016. There was an accident, and this was a Mars period. Mars was afflicting the 8th house of death-like experiences and the 12th house of endings. So what are the remedies for this chart? So chants and charities for Rahu, Ketu, Sun, Saturn, Mars. And then the rest of the planets can be strengthened by my favorite remedy, a kavash, which is a silver locket containing the Devata yantras and mantras for those planets. You can purchase a kavash, get a reading, or learn Vedic astrology at www.vastucreations.com. Thank you so much for listening.